Welcome back to Titan part 32. So last time we did a load of work on the solid fuel processor, and well, subject to things working as intended, we got that kind of automated. So I need to keep an eye on it. I am a bit concerned that there might be some conditions where it can get stuck, but in principle it's up and running. Whoops, just shut my helmet to drink. That was dumb. So this time I am going to do some more work back over on atmospherics. Do need to come up with a system to capture those ice deposits, but that is not the highest priority task we've got. What I would like to do is to get in a state that we can really ramp up the oxygen production. And to do that, we need to be able to cool down the hot gas we've got quite a bit faster than we have been doing. Because what I'd like to do is to lay all of this to potatoes. Right, that'll do. That's me fed, that's me watered, that's everything topped up. Okay, let's go. So, one of the issues that I have got is I have actually got quite a lot of CO2 now that could be used to feed the greenhouse. However, most of it is locked up in that hot tank. And whilst we are using that hot gas for a few things, we're not really using it terribly efficiently. And it's quite slow. So the Stirling engine is useful as a means of cooling it down. It generates a little bit of power as a nice byproduct, but we can't really ramp up the throughput on that unless we start adding additional Stirling engines, because otherwise the waste gas tank ends up far too hot. So I have a plan, and it's going to start with a lot of walls. Probably not 34 though, that's probably not the right number. I don't know what the right number is. But let's start with 30. Throw that in there. Gonna need a load of plastic sheets as well, so let's throw that in there. You may wonder what I'm doing. It will be clear in due course. Right, the other thing we're going to need is we're going to want three, maybe two more, I think, because we've already got a tank I can reuse for this. So we're going to want 2 more tanks. Whoops, don't need a cat. I mean, I do need a cat. Everyone needs a cat, but not yet. How's that coming along? It's getting there. Right, and we are going to need some insulated pipe. How many, I wonder? A lot, I suspect. Oh, okay, that didn't quite work, did it? No. What happened to the tank? What did I run out of? I didn't want insulated, I want normal. But it was still copper. Right, you go in there. Let's just manually make one of those. And I want insulated pipe. And I think we'll go for that. Come on, what are you doing? Oh, it's stored over there, right, okay. Right, we're bound to need a load of cable. Put these down. Anything else here that I can use? No, not for this job. Okay, always worth checking. Okay, is that my walls? That's my walls. Right, and then I need... how many sheets do I need for a wall? I think I need 2, don't I? I'm going to double check before I make the wrong number, because otherwise that's exactly what I'm going to end up doing. I should just know this, but then it's one of these things. It's like when you think, did I lock the front door when I went out? And you think, it's 2, and then you think, the more I think about this, the less sure I am that it's 2. But it is in fact 2, which means I need plastic sheets, and I need 60 of them. Okay, I need that. I'm going to run out of space. Yes, I've run out of space. Amazing. Have I got any way I can clear a bit more space? Well, I can do that. That's a start. Which means that can go over there. I'm still not going to have space to move most of this lot. Yeah, I'm basically going to be out of space. Nearly there. Right, next I need some heat exchangers. I'm just going to use direct. Small direct will probably do the job, to be honest, for this. Now I need... right, to start off with, I'm going to need 5, I think. I mean, I definitely need 1 urgently. But I have a better plan. Oh, I forgot I need 2 more tanks, insulated tanks as well. Right, well, let's get that going. I need to put the next bit of copper in there, aren't I? There is a plan here, I promise. Right, okay. That's all I can carry. That's enough to get started. But whilst we're at it, I will be wanting 1 unit of stairs. Oh, we've run out of iron. Okay. Getting there. And I will be wanting... two insulated tanks. Should have smelted more silicon when I had a hot furnace last episode. Never mind. Get in there. No, just cook. Right. So I'll be wanting 2 of those. We'll complain until I've got the silicon. That's not going to be enough anyway, is it? That's still not enough. It was actually at 0. Right, okay. Good. Okay, that's those. And I want that. And I need... so I need some digital valves. What do I need for digital valves? Could check on there, but then I'll have to interrupt that. Still miles away. Right, okay, well, let's have a look. Digital valve. Copper, steel, invar. Okay, so we'll want some invar. Invar there, var. We do not have any invar. We will need to make some more invar. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. All right. I think I've got enough to get started anyway. Only thing is whether I can just get that to finish, and no. But what I can do is that, and then do that, and then at least I'll have a larger stack. Oh, so annoying. One short. Okay, go and start cooking. Right, okay, let's go. Much to do. Right, so, first things first. You guessed it, we're building a top deck. Not 100% sure how long this deck needs to be. There's an element of how long can this deck be, and the answer is actually if we run it to here that's probably fine. Okay, so let's try and get the patterning the same, shall we? Way round. Okay, we're definitely going to need more, but you know, it's a start. Right, a few holes, but that's okay, we'll fix that in a minute. Right, now, you may wonder what we're doing over here. I'm wondering what we're doing over here. No, I'm not wondering that much, I've kind of got an idea of what we're doing over here. Just going to figure out the best way to get it there. I think we're going to build floor grating, I think that will do the job nicely. Start with 10, it's probably not enough, but it will get me going. So iron, okay, we've got plenty of steel, I just didn't know what size we had. Right, next up we're going to need more walls, I know we are. So that's at 210. Yeah, I'll take another 10 of them. Did that actually print? Oh, it's waiting. What? Right. We've got 2 insulated tanks, we've got the heat exchangers, we've got the rest of the pipes. Good, okay. Right, I can't carry anything else, so let's go and get cracking on the next bit. Promise this will start to come together soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these out here to just give me a nice walkway. Whoops. Yeah, that'll be perfect actually. Then we'll get these tanks. I'm going to turn them that way. I'm going to... It's a bit more difficult to see quite where I want them to go, I have to say. There? Is that too low? No, that's definitely too high. It's got to be there then. Bit of space between them. Okay, that's fine. Let's get to some of these. Slightly chaotic roof building. That's what you like about it, I'm sure. Right, okay. Let's not do those two yet. Do those two bits in a minute because I need to get through here for a minute. Those can go up there. Is that the right way around? Is that the same as these? I don't know. Let's go look. Yeah, it looks the same. Right, there we go. Get rid of these. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm out of range now for the wireless charger, aren't I? Right, now. Let's do this right. What I want to do is I need a fill mechanism and then I will isolate them afterwards. So I guess we'll put the fill along here. Okay. And let's just see if I can do this really neatly. I probably could have connected it there. Actually, that would have been a neater solution in almost every respect, but there we go. Actually, to be fair, don't need that fill mechanism set up like that, except now I can't get in underneath. Okay, well, you know. Let's do it this way then. Oh, come on, let me get at that point. Take that out from the inside, am I? Delightful. Okay, alright, well, that's what it is. That's fine. Up and over. Right, need to keep a bit of an eye on the battery charge because it's looking kind of low. Right, now there is method to my madness here. Yeah, power critical. Kind of needed a little bit of thinking time not to screw this up, but don't appear to have that available. Come on. No, that's what I wanted. Okay. Need to run back down this way really, really fast. Come on. Oh, just about managed that. There we are, now we're charging up again. That was a little close, I will admit. Probably not my finest move. Okay, right. As long as we're continuing to charge, we'll come in here and pick up some more stuff. And we will continue to charge because there's a charger there. Right, okay, so... can't quite bring everything, but I can bring that much. I need to make another wireless charger over there, really, don't I? What am I looking for? I'm looking for an Omni. Some gold. Gold I have. Get one of these made, otherwise I'm going to keep running into this problem every time I go up to that end of the base. Actually, I'll stack them onto the data network. I'm bound to need that soon enough. Right. Okay. It's probably a higher priority at this stage than the heat exchangers. I have made one too few insulated tanks. Solves that problem. Right. There's a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to need. I'll have to come back for it. Okay. Power at 15% is not great. However, there must be power there, which means if I am really cunning, I'm going to have to drop that. Let's throw it there so at least it doesn't blow away. And I grab that there. Should be able to put a power cable somewhere else. That'll do for now. I know, but don't you worry, I have a plan. There we go. Okay, it's not very elegant, but it does the job. Right, now what I need to figure out is... is that just a simple connection? And I think it is. Right, so that is a simple and temporary connection. That is dropping. That is increasing. That is increasing. Perfect. Let's turn that on. And actually, before I do that, what would have been smarter would have been, let's just dismantle that tank. That's the next thing to do. Glad I put that in there. Hear some moaning, but it's very difficult to hear it over the wind. Hopefully now you're starting to see what I was trying to achieve, which is 3 tanks instead of 1. I will isolate them all in due course, because they're all going to be for slightly different systems. Right, that's still pretty low pressure, but something in there is sad. Okay, I think I need to just go and investigate that before I repressurize the system. The plan is I'm going to use the same apparatus we've already got in place to pressurize those 3 tanks with very, very cold nitrogen. I need to come in here for a task in a minute anyway, so it's all good. So Let's just check on what's going on here. There's definitely some grumbling going on. Right, so that tank, that pipe network is fine. It's cold, but it's... Is it this one complaining? I mean, it might be. It's got some... I feel like it should be that one, because that was the one that started whinging once I split it. It's a tiny amount in there, but it's a very tiny amount. It's 1 MPa. Can't work out what's complaining. Makes me nervous when things are complaining and I can't work out what. That pipe network's fine. That's fine. 0% stress on there. Maybe there's a piece outside that I've screwed up. I don't know. Anyway, right. The other thing I need to do while I was in here, and we'll use purple because it's as good a colour as any, is I needed to mark that one. Yeah, that'll do, because that's the top point that we can possibly run a staircase to. Right, let's go and see if we can figure out where this groaning's coming from before something gives way. Let's get underneath and have a nose. Let's check there's nothing under here that's disconnected and is complaining. Looks okay. I mean, there's that one little segment of pipe there, but I think that's got a vacuum in it. Don't hear any noise now. So it might be fine, but just did not expect it to start complaining. Okay, that's perfect, because that means we've got space. We want to come one more across with the walls. So that's at least landed in the right place. No, it's definitely complaining. Oh, is it the walls? Is it the actual interior? I mean, I don't want to do that, but I do want to know how damaged it is. Maybe it is that piece of wall. Don't understand why that piece would be under too much pressure and nothing else, though. Okay, well, either way, let's get that going. Right. Take a slight risk and actually just dump that down there for now. And those. So I need some hand space. I need some more walls. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11. I think I made 10. Did, so I need one more wall. Then I need plastic sheets to go with. Right, now then, invar was the next issue. I don't have any and I'll need to make some. Okay, I'll come back for that in a minute. Unless I've got any, have I got any significant amount lurking in here? I've none in there at all. I'm slightly surprised. Maybe I didn't make any invar. Oh no, I've got 4 in there. Wow. Okay, I must have made a tiny batch at some point a long time ago, because I can't imagine I've used that much. Right. Let's go. Can't carry anything else. It doesn't really matter if I need anything else at this point. Those can go there. Right, there's a good old pool of liquid volatiles there. Possibly that's what's making that bit of wall particularly complain. Right, now, if I do this right, let's seal this first. The plan is to basically remove as much as possible of the atmosphere in this top section so that we can pressurise it with sensible temperature nitrogen. Problem is the runoff valve's in the wrong place, isn't it? So let's grab that, put it out here. Go, that can happily spray. Well, that's a bit of liquid nitrogen spraying under there as well, but that can just do its thing. And then these should be, they'll pressurise a bit higher than that. They'll go to about 3.7 before the rate of liquefaction and the rate of intake balance out. Right, I need that to evaporate a bit now though, that would be nice. Let's just turn that off and let things settle down, because I want that to evaporate. Then I'll seal that up and I'll vacuum this out, or at least I'll run that to grab the cold atmosphere that's in here. Actually, having said that, I could just run it anyway. There's only a finite volume. Do I need any of these in the meantime? Right, the insulated tanks are going to end up here anyway. I'm going to take a rough guess and put them in this place. No, I'm not going to put them in as placeholders, that's dumb. I'll regret that later. I'm going to grab this. Tanks. It is slowly evaporating, but I sort of don't care because I could just suck it in and then it will just liquefy in the pipes and spray back outside, won't it? So, yeah. Oof, that's making some deeply unpleasant noises. Right, let's Hangar caution. Turn you on. Oh, I've missed that piece of roof. I didn't realise I'd missed the piece of roof. That would have been bad. Right, there we go. So as long as I've done that right, let's double check. Should have a nice solid roof. We've got nice solid walls. And that should take whatever's in there, and that should end up in here, which is still effectively cryogenically cold nitrogen and volatiles. good. Okay. Now while we're out here, I expect the battery's dead on that. Yes it is. Is there a battery working on that? Yes there is. Right, okay, good. Right, let's just make life easier later on. We're going to call that cryo tank. Whoops. 1. Done it again. Cryo tank 2. And you guessed it, this is going to be cryo tank 3. They will be disconnected, but I'm going to fill them all first because that serves two purposes. I need that to have vacuumed out fully. Now the only thing is, how am I going to know when it's done? I suppose I'm going to know when it's done because this is going to stop changing. It may take a little while. Okay, that's fine. Right, so in the meantime, let's go and get on with the next bit of this piece of work. In here. Gonna have to stop and drink shortly. And indeed eat. Right, this is going to have to move. We've got every colour paint we could ever want in here. I didn't realise that. That's fine. This will move. And we will be opening the ceiling here into that new enclosure. I know there's condensation in the pipe. That's why we've got something to catch it. I think the issue is that the pressure in here is actually really getting a little bit low, isn't it? And it's going to be a problem when I open that as well. So what we now need to do is probably to rig up some sort of system to repressurize this room with nitrogen. Which shouldn't be awfully complicated, except for the fact that I will need... Right, let's drop some of the stuff in here that we don't need. There we go. Right, I will need one passive vent and a back pressure reg, pressure reg. We'll hook it up here somewhere. That's fine. Okay. Right, I shall take the opportunity to go and drink on the way. I mean, actually, I could use a simple valve and just manually release it. It's a kind of a one-off task. I need a passive vent anyway, don't I? So wait before I make one. Have a pipe cowl, that will do the job, so I just need a valve. Which I've got one of somewhere, but for the life of me I can't think where. Probably in the atmospherics room, to be fair. I know there's one in here. There is one in here. That's where I keep seeing it. I think. Don't know, we'll find out in a minute. There's one somewhere anyway, and there's only a limited number of rooms, so it's either in here or it's in there. And if it's in here, I don't need to worry, I can pick it up, and if it's in there, I'll get it when I'm there. There it is. Ha! shut? Right, that's good. How's it looking in here? There's still not a lot of CO2, is there? Right. Let's switch some of these around. Do that because that one's a faster charger. Let's go. Shut my helmet. Close one. Would have been an embarrassing way to die, wouldn't it? Right. Now, do I really want to just vent that? I am thoughtful. I think I might use a pressure reg and then I can just set it up. Just leave it running. I think that's a more sensible idea. It's using power, but I just have visions of over-pressurising the whole place otherwise. Right. So, once we've got that sorted, in fact that will be helpful because then when I take the open up the upper deck, it should just automatically sort it for me. I'm just slightly concerned that there's going to be a period of time where there's going to be too much pressure differential, but yeah, look, the pressure in here is falling even further. So we do need to deal with that. Right, in terms of pipes, we've got plenty. Although I'm going to have to use insulated in place of what was there. Just to whip out that corner, I guess. Oh, let's just grab that. We're going to be doing a whole load of repainting of pipes by the time we're finished in here. Right. Can I stick this directly on? Yes, I can. There we go. Right, that should start to bump the pressure in here up. At some point I'm going to put an atmospherics filter in this room just to suck out anything that's not nitrogen. That pressure is still falling. Why is the pressure still falling? Is it just because we were sucking too much air in there, maybe? The rate of that is not exactly going to be massive, but I hope that we'd be starting to see some uptick in pressure. I suppose we are. Slowly. Well, except then it jumps back down again as that cycle runs. Okay, I think what I'm going to do for a minute is I'm going to shut that off. No, I'm not. I'm going to shut this down. Doesn't have to go all the way off, but just enough that what's coming out of here is less hot. Actually, we'll shut that as well for a minute. So we're dumping less heat into this room, and then hopefully this will come down. We'll process that through, and then that may eventually shut off. I'm just concerned we're going to implode the room, otherwise these walls will be taking some damage slowly. I can't quite see how much, and I don't. Doesn't sound happy, does it? That's the one that's most critically impacted. Right, that's now turned off. I want to see the pressure going up consistently now. Why is it still going down? What on earth is consuming it? Where is it going? It's going up over here. T3. Hmm. 83.9 over here. 83.3. Okay, I think it probably just needs to equalise across the room. Okay, well, hopefully that will happen before that explodes. Because there's definitely a lot of grumbling going on. Right, now, in the meantime, what I was intending to do here, first things first, let's remove that locker. No, not put the drill in the locker, let's remove the locker. Put it there for now. Right, tidy these up a bit, otherwise I will be cursing myself later. I suspect that this is actually in the wrong place anyway, and I will need to get behind it, but, you know, deal with that when we get there. Oh, don't really know why I switched the order on those, never mind. Right, okay, so next thing to do... Oh, really don't like the sound of that. So that's where the stairs will go. So we'll have to take out both of those two panels, but that should be fine. So I'm just going to double check if I can pick these up. That would be really nice. No, can I maybe pick these up? Yeah? Well, you go over there. Come on, I need that one. I made it for a reason, and it wasn't so it could get stuck on the scenery. Oh my god, paint cans are so irritating. Thank you. Right. No, those are the ones that need to come out. We will need to reroute that pipe as well. Okay, that's fine. Right. So the next thing we want to do is that we are going to attach, there will be fine. I'm going to route this across the ceiling yet, but that gets us a good chunk of the way there. All the things I've already grabbed are of use. So that go in there, and then that can paint that brown, and then that can go there. We'll make that one way. And then we're going to use that to top up this loop with lutant. That is going to be the hot gas loop. And you guessed it, the blue is going to be the cold gas loop. Now the next thing I'm going to want is, right, so put the, I'll put those two tanks above there and there, I guess. That might actually be too long. Okay. I guess the next thing to check is whether that pipe is still changing its contents. If that is fully stabilised, then that suggests that the space above this is now a vacuum, which it is. That's why we're hearing so much groaning, I suspect, because it's probably the result of those. Yes, those are all under significant stress, because I have successfully vacuumed it out. Now what I do need to do rather rapidly is to turn this off before I mess up my cryo. Okay. Going to end up having to burn quite a lot of plastic sheets to fix this nicely later without tearing it all back down, but I'll take it as long as we can get this place stable. Right, so those two are the ones we actually want to pull out, there and there. I really, really hope that we don't have a structural failure anywhere. It's making a hell of a noise. I think that's the most damaged. I can see at 17%, so that one's also at 17. That's at 17. I'm not seeing it getting any worse now, though. It probably is, but hopefully only slowly. Once I do this, I'm kind of committed. Right, now. That's temporary, but it will do the job for now, and it will stop that system from breaking. Oof, that was a mistake, wasn't it? Didn't realise there was actually oxygen in the... There's not now, is there? Right, okay, that's fair enough. Oh, it's the nitrous. Okay, well that's alright, don't mind burning that off, actually. Mix into CO2, which I can do something useful with. Right, so that one there. Which is the other one that was at 17, it was that one. I'm sure there are some others, but... Okay, it's making a horrible set of noises, but nothing's getting actually worse yet, so I'll take it. Right, now we're going to put these tanks up here. Can't fit my head through there. I'm going to have to reroute those pipes. Luckily I can drop through the ceiling. Oops. Yeah. Really the way to do it, is it? So what we're going to do is feed our hab and greenhouse air into there, so that we've got a bit of a buffer. And we're going to use those tanks there to generate hot and cold. Where's my... there it is. I'm going to take an insulated tank here. So we're going to have a heat exchanger that's going to take some heat off this, but only when this is hotter than the hot pollutant loop, and only when it's cooler than the 1100 degrees or whatever we are pulling out to feed into there. That's the plan. I mean, there's quite a bit of work to do to get to that stage, but that is the plan. That means we're going to need to extend that way though, I think. Unless I put it here. No, don't like that. I think we'll extend it. Still an awful lot of horrible noises here, but these ones I fixed are not getting any worse. Pressure's at 44. So it is going up. Might need to do a rapid pressure dump into here at some point, but we'll see how we go. Right, okay. So I'm going to get an atmospherics unit running in here to suck out anything that's not nitrogen. So I definitely need that. I also definitely need some more walls, because that ends here, and I need to run a narrow piece along another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by 2. So that's 20. I've got a couple here. Obviously I can reclaim a bunch of these and replace them with something like floor grates, but for now that will do. So I need a 20 on a 2x10, so it'll be a 20 for the roof, and then it will be 10 for each side. So that's 40, plus 2 at the end, so 42. So if I make another 40, should do the job. Told you we'd need a lot of walls. Right, and 40 of them means 80 of them, which is just about doable. But actually it's actually a lot of them. That's going to need just about got enough. Okay, well, we'll do that. Right. Atmospherics, that was the other thing I was going to make. Gold, we have gold. Gold's over here. Just get some normal pipes, they're probably useful. Oh, I'm going to need a whole load more insulated pipes in a minute as well. Don't think I need anything out of there. Okay, so I don't actually have enough silicon to make a huge number, do I? But silicon is going to be my next bottleneck. Let's try and get in front of that by actually jumped over it. Go. No, go. Almost done. Alright, and we needed 40 of them. Right, let's run out of space. Those at least can stack onto there. Okay, we can't carry much more. That I'm literally just gonna, oh, clicked it so fast it went in and came back out again. Literally just gonna start that running. I'm gonna stick some more steel in actually. Did not throw hard enough. Throw harder. Bosh. Okay. How's this coming along? 11, still plenty to do. Just let that run. Gonna need loads of pipes. Right, and if these walls ever finish, I might just about have enough carrying capacity for these at least. I probably can grab some of those pipes. Let's stack those onto there. I might as well carry a full stack out with me. Just chuck that in. Just make it a bit nicer when that finishes. Right, come on. How are we doing? Why are we still going? Why are we... Oh no, because we're doing 40, not 20. Of course we are. Alright. Well, this is a bit tedious now. I've just thought of something I do need is the nitrogen filter. And actually I'm going to need a couple of massive vents as well. Two should do the job. And then we'll go back to insulated pipes. Just leave that running. Now then, I could grab that onto there. That's not the end of the world. It's not the best place for it to be stored, but it still works. Right, okay, that is basically everything I can carry anyway. So there's no point in taking all of those until I've got the walls. There's the walls. Now there's 30 of the walls. Right, we'll leave that printing, because I cannot carry any more. It's making some delightful noises still. Right, so 1, 2... Right, surely that's as far as I can go. Did I get a calculation of that being another 10? That's not 10. Dunno. Oh well. Got too many walls, but I'm sure I'll use them later. Right. Come on. Oh, that's annoying. Not quite enough to seal that, which I was hoping it would be. Okay. Oh, I guess let's go set this up. What's the pressure in here? It's still not particularly good, is it? In fact, it's particularly bad. It worries me a bit when I'm about to make it worse, but there we go. Got to be done at some point. I may as well just do all the damage in one go. Right, so we are going to... How are we going to filter this? We are going to filter this. Such a bit annoying. Not where I'd like to is the answer to how we're going to filter it.
Hydration critical.
Right. Just going to run this dumb for now. I just want to get the other stuff out of the atmosphere. There's not much of it, but let's get what we can. Right, I think this might need to be overridden with something a bit faster than a... I've got a volume pump somewhere, but I think it's outside. Yes, it is. Right, let's put some of this stuff down for a minute. That needs to be reconnected outside, which I'm likely to need a few of these for, so I'll bring them. Just conscious if this does fail, I don't want everything blowing away. Really, what I want is it not to fail, but if it does, I'd like it to at least not be a complete disaster. Right. Okay, so how are we looking for the atmosphere in here? Not much different right now. Okay, but it's doing its thing, so that's fine. Right, okay. One of the things I could do, it's a bit messy and it will drop the temperature in there quite a lot. Could do this, which will at least give it a bit more pressure. Because we have now got a filter working. That was part of the reason I wanted a filter running, was that it gives me a few more options. Get up, get over there. Okay, well that's making horrible noises. None of that's gone above 17%, so it's probably okay for now. Although it is stressing me out, I have to say. Right, okay, so let's work out where we're going to fit this. It's not really a good place. I mean, I suppose the best place is probably actually along that end there. Oh! Drifting all over the place. No! Ah! Got sucked off the ledge as I tried to land. Oh, right, okay. Right. Okay, that's good. We'll connect that up. On the other side, kind of inclined to remove that and stick it over here the other way up, like that. That looks good. Get that closed, get that done. Right, this is taking a bit longer than I'd hoped, I have to say. As is so often the case in Stationeers. Right, okay. So now I need to connect that cable over there. Whoops. There we go. Should be doing a good job of topping that up again now. Okay, right, well, attempting to ignore the stressful noises, let's just do this and see if we can get some pressure in here. It's made it very cold. It's not ideal, but we know we can dump heat off the hotline if we need to warm it up rapidly. Let's just see what happens. Right, that can go back on. And in fact, given that, we can actually ramp this up quite a bit as well. Okay, good. Right. Well, that will start to process through at least some oxygen, which is useful. Right, next thing then, trying to put the horrible screeching noises out of my mind, is I want to run a branch off here up there. Oops, wrong side. And I want to do the same on here. This one can at least probably go slightly closer to the wall. Right, keep that normal pipe back in case I need it for anything. I have a sneaking suspicion I will. Let's see about rerouting this if I can. This is massively stressing me out listening to all that screeching noise. Right, hang on. I put one of these like that. That works. Amazing, now I can get up the stairs. Much better. Yeah, it's just making horrible noises. It's not actually doing much worse than that right now. Okay, now, I need to open that wall up, but I haven't finished closing the other end, so I best do that before I rip that out and screw everything up. It's a bit annoying, because if I know what I can do. I was going to say, if I had the plastic sheets, I could just sort it, but I can pinch some plastic sheets from here. Annoyingly, I've got to go out and back in.
Health low.
I know, health low, I know. I've got things to do, I haven't got time for that right now. Okay, good, done. Come on, let's get it done, Come on. Right, we'll take the hit from the air in there. Drop the temperature a bit further, but we can live with that for now. We're about to do far worse, because I'm about to remove that side there. Oof, probably shouldn't have stood with that tank right in front of me. However, this should bump the pressure up enough to stop all that horrible noise. Come on, really, it should not be making noise now. What is it whinging about? Don't actually know what it is whinging about now. Unless it's in here. Is there a pressure differential in here? Oh, yeah, there certainly was, wasn't there? Yes, that has fixed it. Oops, and started a fire. Okay. Well, never mind. Of course, there was probably still volatiles there. Still making a bit of noise, though. Why is it still making any noise? Pressure in here is 105, and the pressure out there is under 300. This should all be simple. I feel like it's just making noise for the sake of making noise now. It's just having a whinge. Right, okay. So what we've now got to is a situation where I have some very cold gas out there, which I can now see about bringing through. Don't need to cryogenically cool that right now because it's actually got the opposite problem. It's too cold. But the time will come where I will. Yeah, that's generating some power. That's still very cold, but it's starting to bring the temperature up. Okay, and we'll just have to let this do its thing and filter this atmosphere for me. Right. So the next thing I need to do is to get some connections in place for these tanks. Whoops. Let's bring that through there just so I can see where it is. The other one's there. Okay. I mean, actually, I need to do this under the floor, but one, two, turn, one, two, there we go, that'll work. Nice. Right, actually, let's put that one down. I'm going to have to go and drink in a moment. However, right, so I've now got connections for these mixed gases going into insulated tanks, so they can hold a buffer of both breathable air and greenhouse gas. I will need to sort that fuel mixer out at some point. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect that along there, but we're going to want to run it further up, I think further back on reflection. Put it there. I think that will make more sense. I realise I've created a bit of extra piping that I could have managed without, but that will allow me to run it along the edge, because that is going to ultimately need to end up right along the far end there. That's as good as we're going to get away with, but I'll take that. That's enough to build a bit more length on there. Yeah, I think that makes sense, because then that brings it along. Just double check from up here. Yeah, that brings it along here. We'll run that right along there. That worked nicely. That tank's going to be sprayed in purple. Let's just do that.
Health critical.
Okay, that's about as much as I can do before I'm going to have to go and sort my health critical out. Right. I think now we're getting the bones of what we need. I feel much less stressed just not being in that room. It's that groaning is not. It's not good. It's not good. Right. Okay. So the plan from here will be to connect up the rest of the insulated pipes we need to that purple tank, and then have a heat exchanger, which will conditionally open or close based on the temperature of the hot gas. And then we're also going to split the cryo tanks off into a series of separate circuits. We're going to use one for controlling the temperatures on the two buffer tanks I just put in for the air, so that as and when we need to, we can easily adjust that. So there'll be a hot and a cold for each of those, and we'll put some automation around that so that it always keeps that at the temperature we want it. I'm going to use one in the way it's currently used to keep that gas annex temperature stable, and I am going to use another one when we start making water and we have some extremely hot gas that we want to cool rapidly, and I'm going to use a separate cryo tank for that. So cryo tank 1 will probably be for that, just because of where it's positioned. That's my plan. Just sort these while I'm in here. Right, I don't want to go too much longer on this episode because it's starting to take rather longer than I'd hoped. But let's go see if we can at least get some heat exchangers connected in, at least on one side. The complexity is I need to make invar, make some valves. So let's actually have a quick look at that whilst I'm here. Invar, iron and nickel, very hot, tight pressure range. Right, okay. Iron we have, and nickel we have. So let's, if I'm going to make it, I may as well make a big batch. We do have a lot of iron. Grab that silicon and get that going through here in the meantime, because I'm going to need it. Got any more nickel? Come on, surely we've got some more nickel. Maybe we haven't. There it is. Oh, only 39 though. And well, that might be the constraining factor then. No, there we go. Right. Okay. We're going to need them. I'm just going to let that run until it runs out. Didn't need all those walls in the end, did we? I miscalculated. Never mind. Oh, I should have stacked them, the ones I've got. Never mind, I'm going back in there in a minute. Right. It's a bit all or nothing, isn't it? No. Click the split half on the right one. Before I throw the pipes in by accident. Let's just check, is this turned off? No. Actually, we might not be a million miles off. Temperature range is good, we're just a bit low pressure. It might be a question of well, a bit more in, although that's going to drop the temperature, of course. Why is the pressure going down? Because the temperature's dropping too fast, I suppose. No, it's got to go. We've got to do probably all of it, but... Right, pressure's in the right range, temperature's not. Yes. Oh, damn it. It changed just as I pulled the trigger. That's incredibly annoying. Come on. Oh, we were there. Temperature's just dropped slightly too much. Okay, so what do we need more of in there? Right, one more unit of this. Come on, do it, do it, do it. It did not do it. Right, that better do it because that's all I've got. No, it's not quite going to get there, is it? So close. That is incredibly annoying. Pressure's too high now anyway. No, that's the wrong valve. Oh, I'm going to have to go and mine some more nitrice now. That was so annoying. It was there, and I pulled it, and it didn't work. Right, okay. It might be best just to harvest what heat I can out of that now, and I'm not going to go and do some more nitrice mining at this point in the episode. It's been going on far too long. That's a job for next time. It's kind of irritating. Dump a bit of cold. Be nice to dump hotter in, but a bit of extra volatile. So we are. They probably won't freeze solid in there. Don't know what else is in there, but it should be all right. Bit of CO2, but not much. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right. Well, that's an annoyance. I have to go and sort that for next time. Right. Okay. However, for this time. Actually, I'll grab those because I can use them to fix the other bits up. Maybe I'm sensible to bring all these through just in case we have some sort of breach. Right, okay. Let's shut that. Shut that. Going to call it a day in a minute. Still noise coming from those damn walls. Less than there was though. Right, okay. He said and then came upstairs. Okay, well. I've made that too high, haven't I? I think that's hovering off the ground. Probably going to regret using all these long run sections at some point, but for now they are a useful way of getting right across here really, really quickly. Oh yeah, read the tooltip. It doesn't say, it doesn't fit there, it says you do not have enough. Oh, has it gone that far? Apparently so. Yeah, actually, do you know what? I want it there. Ah, that's my problem. It's nothing to do with that. It's to do with that. Nice. Right, so that should start filling up with pollutant. So our first heat sink can sit there. Do I have any pink paint? Of all the colours that I have kicking around down here, I don't think I have the one that I actually need. No, I don't. Well, we'll make do with purple then, I suppose, which is upstairs. Right, okay, so... Oh no, I'm going to need pink to do that anyway, aren't I? No, I have actually run out. Brilliant. Okay. Feel like that is slightly hanging out the wall and is therefore probably not quite exactly where I want it to go, to be honest. So I'm going to stick it that way round. Right, now the key thing is we're going to want an automatic valve in there, which means I need the invar, which I don't have, so we won't worry too much about that yet. I might use a manual one. Where is the screwdriver? There it is. Come on, it's not that difficult. There's about 4 ways that fits. Right, there we go. Okay, so just to test the theory. Not really test the theory, but in any case we may as well start warming it. So that is getting some pollutant coming across. That's at -28. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a conditional valve on here, which is basically going to say if that is below 1000 and hotter than that, then connect it across. But for now, that gets us starting to have some hot gas flow. Now we're going to have up the top here, we're going to have a hot and a cold for each of those. And we're also going to modify that cold. Oh, I hate that noise so much. This cold line here, we're going to have a direct branch onto the waste tank as well. Easiest way to do that, we need to avoid that pipe on the wall there. Might actually be connected to there rather than the tank. It doesn't really matter where it hits the network as long as it does hit it. The only thing is, if it's that, well, it doesn't really matter. That's a functional one-way valve to enforce. No, because I can't put it there. I'll have to come one further off the wall. Oh, okay, alright, well, we'll have to do it there. Fine. I'm going to need one more of these. I should have made 6, not 5. Anyway. And I've run out of pipe. Or have I? Yeah, that's not going to work because I'm going to have to unpick. Oh no, that's okay. That'll work. Is that right? Is that lined up correctly? Yes. Good, okay. Similarly, this will need an electronic valve, but it will need to go there. In fact, that at the moment is currently too cold, so I don't want that to happen. No, yeah, that's why it needs to go on the other side. So, let's just chop that. That's fine. That can connect to there. Please. Thank you. And then we'll put the valve in. Actually, we'll put it there. That's the right place to put it. We always want to put it on the cold side of the cold ones so that the only impact is that it is this bit starts to get too warm, rather than if you put it on there, what happens is that corner there will start to get too cold instead. So it's not really ideal because it kind of gets in the way here, but I may come up with a better angle for it, but it does the job for now. What's the atmosphere looking like in here? Okay, we're getting there. I do not understand why we're still getting groaning noises from up here though. This is all now comfortably over. Oh, was that it though? No, something's still making noise. Yeah, something up here has just got stuck groaning, I think. Right, okay, well, last thing I'm going to do before I end this episode is I'm going to fix up all the damaged walls and see if that shuts it up, because it's really annoying now. Or at least as many as I can do. Right, okay, well I've run out. Yeah, there's no damage at this end, so this is all fine. I'm going to replace this later with floor grating. That'll be enough, I hope. What was that one? That was at 9%, that one. That one still thinks it's damaged in the corner. Right, okay, let's grab these off here as well. Still going. Right, that one's still damaged. I think it's actually all of them. Just there's one up there. It's really got no excuse. Still making the noise. Really irritating. Maybe it's the pipes. I don't know. Maybe it's complaining about the liquid in there now. Hard to judge, but it's definitely stressful. Right. I do need to manage the nitrous as well, don't I? That's one thing I haven't really bothered with doing much about. Never mind, that's warming up slowly. Let's hammer that through there. Right, how is the hot loop looking for temperature? 682 degrees, that is looking pretty healthy. So we'll snag that off there. Ah, and there was peace. Relatively. Okay, good. Right, I think that is quite enough for one episode. That's far longer than I meant it to be again. However, we've got the basics of, firstly, atmospheric storage, which means whilst we don't have any in either of those tanks yet, at least we have tanks. Tank air. Tank greenhouse. So we have somewhere to store it once we've mixed it. We have successfully extended this. That's probably not required anymore. I'll turn that off. So I'm guessing that the constraint on this is simply that we're not mixing enough. There's plenty of nitrogen still. And I guess that's because this is too cold. So once that warms up a bit, which it will do soon enough, then we should, I think, be back in business. going to give it a little helping hand. I'm going to pinch one of these radiators and I'm going to mosh it onto there. We know that works. There we go, we can see the temperature coming up already. Yeah, okay, that's good. -2. Alright, so that should start to warm up nicely. We actually now have a problem that there's too high pressure in here. It should get taken care of as we clean everything that's not nitrogen out of the atmosphere. It's not drastically too high pressure. There we go. Peaceful. Relatively. Okay, so that's pretty good progress. We've now got the basis of our hotline plumbed in here. It does need the right valves and logic to drive it. We've also got the basis of a cold loop. Again, it needs logic to drive it, and we need to do some work to split that for its different purposes. But that means we've now got usable capability to heat and cool things. I need to obviously bring those cold lines through. I suspect I'm going to have to adjust this hotline again and move it one further across, just thinking about it. Oh well, there we go. That's another problem for next time. I'm going to stay in the gas annex for now, so I'm going to end this episode here. Hope you have enjoyed it. It's definitely some progress. And hopefully next time I can get this finished. Then we will have sensible temperature control and we'll be able to cool the waste a lot faster, and we'll also have the ability to warm things when the gas gets too cold. I may add a warming loop to the waste, but we shouldn't need it once this is stabilised this time, but I'll have a think about that. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you on the next episode. Bye for now.